Welcome back. We're going to talk about record keeping and why it's important to keep records during practice. If you notice, if you've ever taken one of my classes, we always use a red die and a green die, and there's a reason for that. And I also like to put the red die on your right side, which would be the shooter's right side, we'll say. Okay, red. So like a nautical term, red right returning when you're out there in your sailboat. So red on the right, green on the left, and the shooter's green or left, okay? This way, you know when you throw the dice, and if you use the hard way set, like this here, you can see if the dice are on axis, hitting primary faces, and we know what a primary face is. With the hard way set, it's a 6 or a hard 4, hard 8, hard 10, hard 6. Secondary hit, say the right die spins forward a quarter turn, secondary hit, okay, you got an 8. You can tell with the hard way set if one die goes off axis. Say your red die, your right die is off axis, the 6. The red die is the 6. So you know, doing record keeping, what you do is you write down every roll. You have a column for green and a column for red. So every time you throw the dice, you record what each die is doing. Record the green die, then record the red die. Then you know if you're double pitching. Double pitching is when one die turns 2 extra turns. If you're off axis with one, if you're quarter pitching forward or quarter pitching backwards, makes a difference in the result. So through record keeping, you can figure all of this out. There are software products out there. Yes, Bob, we had a question.
Just, you know, you have a column on a piece of paper then for, or at the top of the column you're using the hard way set, and then a column that says the result, and then a column for the right die and a column for the left die. And if the right die double pitches, you can put DP in there. If you know, you can use your own notation, but then you can go back and you can look at what they're doing. You can sum up the totals and determine kind of what happened.
Right.
Correct.
Well, also, but if you record them correctly, if you you're going to know by looking at the number that it actually double pitched. Now, there are software products out there that you can put it in your computer, and it's like on an Excel spreadsheet, and it will give you the quarter pitches, double pitches, right die, left die. It breaks all that down, and it gives you much more. So there's some pretty good software. It depends on how you want to get, how much record keeping you want to keep. Yes, Pablo.
What's your philosophy on record keeping?
Well, record keeping to me on the dice, it's only as good as that moment. Look at it as you're in business and you turn your corporate financial statement into your banker. It's like a snapshot in time. That statement is only good at that moment. The older the statement gets, it becomes less reliable. That's why banks won't require you to have a financial statement every quarter or every 6 months. So your data that you're recording on your record keeping for your results are only good at that particular time frame. Now, in my particular case, when I go to the casino to shoot, I will physically throw the dice for about 15 minutes before I go to see what my dice are doing. Are they off axis? Are they double pitching? What are my dice doing today at this moment? This snapshot in time. So now I've got a pretty good idea when I go to the casino, because I basically use the same surface that I have here on my table here in the craps pit. So I know pretty much what to expect and what my betting strategy will be at that time. Yes, Pablo.
No, okay.
No. All right, so that's the importance of record keeping. But just keep in mind, after a few weeks, then it's not as reliable as it would be as the moment you did it. So just keep that in mind, because things do change. Your game elevates or doesn't. Then you just have to make adjustments. So keep the records, and just remember, it's only good for that short amount of time. Okay, we're going to do another video here. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.